Hi everyone, welcome to my Python tutorial series. In this video, we are going to start with the basics and give you a brief introduction to Python. Let's talk about what Python is. Python is an object-oriented, high-level, interpreted programming language. So what does object-oriented programming means? Object-oriented programming is based on the concept of objects, which has data and code that can be manipulated by other objects. In this object-oriented programming, classes are used to define objects, which are instances of the class. A class is like a blueprint or template that defines the properties and behavior of objects. Properties are represented by variables, while behavior is represented by methods or functions. Let's take an example. Consider we have a class of cars under which Ford, Alto, Wagoner represent individual objects. Each car object will have its own model, year of manufacturing, color, speed, engine power, etc., which are properties of the car class. And the associated actions like start, move, stop form the methods of car class. No memory is allocated when a class is created, but memory gets allocated only when an object is created. We will learn more about it in the further videos. Now let's take a look at what high-level language means. We have two types, high-level and low-level. Low-level language are written in machine language, which consists of zeros and ones, while high-level languages we use English words and phrases that are interpreted or compiled into machine language like zeros and ones and executed by the computer. Let's come to interpreted language. In programming languages like Java, the code gets compiled first and then gets executed. Compilation means converting our high-level code to low-level code. But Python, we are not required to compile our code. We don't have to worry about compilation. It gets interpreted at runtime. So this allows us to develop and test our code faster. Now, where do we use Python? Python is used in web development, data analysis and visualization, machine learning and artificial intelligence, in game development, and in scripting to automate tasks like data movement or file processing, etc. Why we use Python? So why only Python? Python is very easy to learn and to use because it has very few keywords and a simpler syntax. And Python has cross-platform compatibility, which means Python can run on different platforms like Windows, Linux and Mac. So it is easier to develop and to deploy. Of course, Python is an open source and Python has larger community of developers. So even if we are stuck in any problem, we can easily find solutions and help from others. It has a larger standard library. There are a lot of inbuilt functions in Python, so we don't have to write code from scratch. So it saves us time and effort. Companies like Google, Facebook, Amazon, Dropbox use Python. In a lot of interviews, they ask what is the difference between Python 3 and Python 2. The first one is division operator. In Python 2, if two operands are integers, then it will return an integer. Suppose if we divide 5 by 2, then we will get 2 instead of 2.5. In Python 3, even if two operands are integers, by default float value is returned. The next is print function. In Python 2, print is used as a statement, whereas in Python 3, it is a function. So we need to use parenthesis in Python 3. The next one is Unicode support. Python 2 uses ASCII characters by default, whereas Python 3 uses Unicode characters. So what is the difference between ASCII and Unicode? Both are character encoding schemes. What they do is assign a unique value to each character. But Unicode supports a wider range of characters and languages than ASCII. Next we have range function. So Python 2 has xrange function, whereas in Python 3 we have range function. We can say that range is the reimplementation of xrange function. Range function is faster than xrange function. And error handling, there is a small syntax change in Python 3 as keyword is required. Now, whoever learning Python now learn Python 3 as Python 2 is no longer actively developed or supported, and lot of performances have been improved in Python 3 compared to Python 2. And Python is not backward compatible. So if we want to use Python 3 and Python 2, we cannot use those functions. So in order to help migrate from Python 2 to Python 3, we have a module called future. With the use of this, we can use some functions of Python 3 in Python 2. Let's talk about limitations of Python. Python is very slow compared to other languages like C or C++ as it is an interpreted language. We cannot use Python for mobile development as mobiles have very less memory resources, and due to Python as a high level syntax and dynamic memory management results in slower performance and increased memory usage. And Python has high memory consumption as it is an interpreted and dynamically typed language. It requires more memory. There is a concept called global interpreted lock. This mechanism ensures that only one thread can execute Python bytecode at a time, which limits the performance of multi-threaded programs. In the next video, we are going to learn how to install Python. So if you have any questions or suggestions, please comment down below. Thank you for watching.